Hi everyone, I am Lisa Funk. I'm a hand lettering expert and instructor and the creator of the popular lettering website, Hand Lettered Design. What we're going to learn is called faux calligraphy, faux being French for fake, which means that we're going to use anything you've got, a pencil, a marker, a pen, a crayon, grab a piece of paper and whatever you have close to you and just try it out with me. Because what we can do is go back and thicken the downstrokes to make it look like traditional calligraphy without needing a traditional nib and ink or even a brush pen. So let's get started. All right, so today I'm going to be using this Faber-Castell marker that's very similar to a Crayola marker. You can use anything that you've got. The first thing that we want to do is write out our phrase in cursive so that we can come back and make it look like calligraphy. So we're gonna write the words thank you because I figure that's a phrase that we can be using a lot on cards or on signs or posters, things like that. We wanna make sure that when we're writing it that we're leaving enough space to come back and thicken the strokes so that it can look like calligraphy without actually needing to use any messy pots of ink or needing to know how to use pressure with a brush pen. So now I'm going to come back, and anytime my hand comes down in lettering, that's called a downstroke, and that's what we want to thicken. So this would be the first downstroke right here. So I'm going to start in the line that's already there. I'm going to draw a line next to the stroke and finish in the line down here. So I'm going to do that again with the H. Start in the stroke, draw next to it, and then I'm going to kind of move that to the left so that it looks like a natural continuous stroke. Then I'm going to go with this stroke down, and you're just trying to get the end of your thickening to meet back up so that it looks natural. I'm going to go on the inside of the A and thicken that downstroke right there. And then I'm going to thicken to the right on that second stroke for the A. You can see I messed up a little bit when I was writing this initially, but it's totally fine because I knew that I was going to come and cover that up with a thickened downstroke. And here we're going to thicken again on the end. Again, anytime a hand is coming down, I know that that is the part of the letter that I'm going to thicken. When it goes up and across, we're going to leave that thin. So I'm going to thicken right there. I'm going to thicken here. And it's up to you how you thicken, depending on where you maybe have more space. Sometimes I find it nice to thicken on the inside like this because I can just end a little bit more easily into the letter at times. You always want to make sure that you're following the curves of the letters you've done to make it look as natural as possible. And then you end up with a beautiful looking calligraphy without needing to know how to use any of those fancy tools. I hope that you'll use this and try it. You can do any word or phrase, just make sure that you thicken the downstrokes. All right, I hope you had fun. If you are interested in learning more lettering, you can come over and connect with me on Instagram at Hand Lettered Design. And I have a ton of resources for you, workbooks, courses, intro to hand lettering on my website at handlettereddesign.com.
Coming from the South, being born and raised here, I'm well aware of the mosquito nuisance and how bad they can be. And today I'm going to help you keep those pesky summer bugs away. So I want to show you guys today how to make these candles naturally with items from your kitchen. Just a great smelling summer alternative to putting out the tiki torches and all the chemically bug sprays. This has worked really well for us. It smells wonderful and it's super easy and affordable, and I'm going to show you how. Here are the items that you're going to need for this project: basil twigs, your lemongrass essential oil, mason jars of choice, lemons, limes, floating candles, and water. I'm only doing 2 mason jars, so I'm using 1 lemon and a couple small limes. Depending on your event, these are really pretty. They look like decoration, but they also have a purpose. First, you're going to add your basil into the bottom of the jar. Then you're going to layer it with a couple lemon slices and a few lime slices as well. Then you're going to make sure you add 10 to 20 drops of your essential oil, and then you're going to fill it to the rim with water. You can give it a little stir if you can, and then simply place in your floating candle. I got these floating candles at a local craft store. You can also order them online. And there you have it. You are ready to go to keep those pesky bugs away, and it's a beautiful little centerpiece for summer.
One of the things that I love to do in the summer is dine al fresco and just enjoy the season, the warm summer month, and just being outside. It's so special. And so today's DIY is going to elevate our al fresco dining. I am going to show you these DIY trays. First, I'm going to show you how to transform this into this. And because I can't leave well enough alone, I wanted to do 2 of them because I felt inspired to do so. I'm going to show you how to transform this into this. It's so much easier than you think. Really simple supplies, an easy technique, and I'm going to show you just how to do it. For this first one, you can see it's black and wood, and I just wanted to cover the wood. So all I did was a thin layer of Mod Podge, and then, believe it or not, some paper napkins. I just laid the paper napkin right smack in the center and then filled in any open areas with the additional napkins. Make sure if you have your napkin that has 2 layers to it to remove the backing on it. This one did not, so I just put it into place as is. Then let it dry for just a little bit, and as it dries, remove those excess edges that are around the circle. If you wait too long, it will pull the napkin and ruin your design. Trust me on this one, I made that error, and it was a little bit of a challenge to try to fix it, but now you know and you will not make that error. So then once that dries, I would do a layer of Mod Podge on the top, just a thin layer. And then once that is dry, just because I like to be extra cautious since I'm using this outdoors, I do a layer of an outdoor Mod Podge. This is totally optional, but just because I'm putting things on there that maybe have condensation that will be wet, or even with some weather that might be wet, this is just gonna protect your tray. Once it dries, you can use it. It's so beautiful, and I love that you can change it up based on whatever the design of the napkin is. So this other technique is going to be very simple as well. I am using scrapbook paper for the design on this one. The first step with this one is to paint it whatever color that you like. I did white because it felt very clean and crisp for summer. Do a thin layer of Mod Podge in the center and place your scrapbook paper right on top. Do not apply the other layer of Mod Podge right away. It's going to ripple. Believe me, I learned this one the hard way. Let it dry and then put another layer of Mod Podge. I also seal this one with an outdoor Mod Podge for the very same reason as the first one, but it's totally optional as well. See, I told you it was quick and easy, cost effective, and anyone can do it.